So, we've covered our 5 major senses and we've dabbled with our 6th sense. But in some rare people, the senses are not very clearly defined. In fact, their senses are scrambled and cross over into each other. They often smell colours, taste words, or see sound. It's called synaesthesia. I invited a few synaesthetes around for lunch, and it was fascinating. Julie sees music.
I heard some music on the radio. It must have been an orchestra playing. And I saw a lovely multicoloured quilt.
James tastes words.
Absolute tastes of tangerines. A fair, it's a trifle sponge.
To Margaret, numbers are colours.
The word 7 is pink because S is pink, but the number 7 is purple.
For Jane, sounds are shapes.
I got this elongated, triangular, bright turquoise shape which came shooting in over my left shoulder.
The most common form of synaesthesia is coloured sound, which means you can see colours for different words. Another form can affect your taste buds, delivering strong flavours to your mouth when you hear certain words.
I get the strong impression from people with synaesthesia that they see it as a very positive thing. It's not like they have anything to compare it with, but they all say they imagine that it would be much less interesting if they didn't have synaesthesia.
I was amazingly privileged to have 4 synaesthetes together for lunch, and to start with, I wanted to see whether my name had any effect on them.
Well, Adam's a reddish, pinkish, strong name.
It's royal blue. Yes, it matches part of one of your shoes, actually.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Adam, do anything for you?
It does actually, yeah. It's tinned tomatoes.
And how about you, Julie?
Yes, it's a very strong red, because A is a very strong red.
To my great shame, I've actually ditched girlfriends, for instance, on the strength of their name. I'm having trouble saying it now. I can't. It's the name Tracy. It invokes in me a flavour of flaky pastry, which, although that doesn't sound very bad to you, it's a very strong sensation. 9 is it's a lovely number. It's one of my favourites actually. It brings on a flavour, a very strong flavour of slightly mushy bananas.
9 is basically quite a brownish colour, but it's like a lovely French polish on top of a grand piano. It's that sort of colour, a dark French polish.
Well, 9 is blue, essentially, a lovely sky blue.
9 is probably the most beautiful colour. I think it's gold. I thought it was just something everybody did, and then my father said, "What's all this about?" So I said, "Well, we see different colours to different letters." He said, "What do you mean? All letters are black." So I said, "Oh no." So he said, "Oh well," he said, "I'll test you. I'll send you a message in code." We told him which colours all the letters were, and see if you can read it. So he gave me this message, and I read it. "The fireworks are hidden under your bed." And I went straight there, and there were the fireworks. And of course, then on, he had to admit there was something in it.
Tuesday, Wednesday, stay in bed on Thursday.
Wednesday for me has always been a lemony yellow with kind of bits in the middle, angles.
Light green, but no particular shape.
Wednesday is a beautiful yellow. It's very smooth.
I don't care if Monday's blue.
I've painted all my days of the week. So Monday is a whitish colour with grey edges, and Tuesday and Thursday are both these lozenges of beiges and turquoise. Friday has always been black and white check, like a flag in a car race. Saturday is like forget-me-nots. It's pinks and purples and pale blues, all scattered like a great bed of forget-me-nots. And Sunday is very bright oranges and reds and yellows. My sister, who is also a synaesthete, when we were very small, we used to argue about the days of the week. Her Wednesday is sort of slightly greenish. I used to say, Wednesday can't possibly be green. You know, it's yellow. It just is yellow, and it always has been.
Research at Oxford University is gradually uncovering the different ways in which synaesthetes process information through their 5 senses. But here to observe them in action is the man who's written a book about synesthesia, John Harrison.
And we took 6 people with synesthesia and 6 people without it, and we played them either words, which in the case of synesthetes would give them a colour experience, or we played them tones, which in both groups would give no colour experience. The results were very, very interesting, and quite obviously we were activating parts of the brain in synesthetes that were traditionally to do with processing colour.
The amount of colour in my life is very vivid, which is wonderful, but it can be overdone an awful lot of the time. There are shops I just can't go in. You know, the music is so loud, I can't get through the entrance. It just hits me like that.
If you had a switch and could switch it off, would you?
I don't think so.
You'd rather have it?
I'd rather have it, because as far as I can tell, it's very enhancing. I mean, I don't know what it's like not to have it, obviously.
Right, no. James, what about you? Would you switch it off?
I would be frightened to switch it off, but only because I don't know what effect it'll have. When it's good, but when it's bad, it's very bad for me.
Your voice, your voice. Now, the nearest I can get to describing it was like greyish, beigeish, putty, sort of squashed like this, about that thick. So if I got some putty and squashed it like this, it would be sort of like your voice.
Grey putty. Thanks. What a remarkable group. They make my experiences seem very black and white.
Well, that brings us to the end of our 3-day journey into the senses. It's been great fun and really quite fascinating. Thanks to all the experts who've helped us to learn more. If you'd like to find out more, check out our website. It's at www.bbc.co.uk/senses.
I do hope you enjoy the rest of your Christmas break, and all that remains is for us to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
And you can chat to Rupert Sheldrake about